Hello, this is a video just quickly recapping the topics that came up in 3.2. So looking at quality, which is quality control and quality assurance, looking at the design mix, different stock control methods, productivity, consumer protection laws and communication. Now, if you go to my videos on YouTube, you'll find that there's much more detail in each of those. So I would suggest you can watch this video. It's a very, very brief summary, though, of what we have done in class. Okay, so quality. It's important because it allows a business to charge a higher price, but more importantly, it allows a business to differentiate and to build a really strong brand. So quality control is where it's done at the end, normally a test sample, just to make sure that it's okay before the products are launched onto the market. Quality assurance is more expensive because you're testing at every stage. However, the idea is it should work out cheaper in the long run because you're more likely to spot mistakes. And if you spot mistakes, it reduces time and money, wastage, all of that. So in the long run, it does work out better to use quality assurance. So we also looked at research and development. We looked at, this is in the product life cycle, at the very beginning, before the introduction. A business will want to research and develop its products, might make some prototypes, for example, might test them to make sure that they work properly. If you remember in lesson, we were looking how crash test dummies are used to test out cars before they're actually launched onto the market. The design mix. Now, remember AFC, that's appearance, cost and function. So we're looking at what a product looks like. Is it desirable? Has it got style and elegance? Is it expensive to produce? Because if it's expensive to produce, it would probably be a very high selling price as well for a customer, which might make it difficult to actually sell. And also, how does the product function? Now, this design mix does not have to be balanced, not like the marketing mix, that's your product, place, price, promotion. They suggest that the marketing mix, those 4 Ps, need to be well balanced. With the design mix, you might find a business will want to focus on just 1 or 2 of them. Occasionally, you might get a business like IKEA that likes to focus on all 3. Now we're going to look at stock control. And if you remember, stock control, there's 3 types of stock. There's raw materials, work in progress, and finished goods. Now, a lot of businesses will use the buffer stock method, and that's where they will use this chart to actually plot out a maximum stock level that they will have at any time. They've also got a reorder level, so when it gets to this level, in this case 500 products, more stock will be ordered, and they will have a minimum, a buffer stock level. The idea is the business will always have stock just in case the customer comes in at any time, that they always have stock. The lead time is the time that it takes when an order is placed to when an order is received. So in this case, the order looks like it's being placed, if you look at the bottom, it's weeks. It looks like it's being placed in on the Thursday, and it's going to arrive on the Saturday, so the lead time is 2 days. The alternative to buffer stock is just in time, and that's when the stock is ordered exactly when it needs it, just at the last minute. So supermarkets tend to do this. They order their stock in overnight, so when customers need the fresh produce in the morning, like the fruit and vegetables, it's just arrived. It's not been hanging around in warehouses for weeks on end. Also useful for businesses like large manufacturing businesses that haven't got the space to have all of the stock, so they will order it just when they need it. So there are advantages and disadvantages for each. Benefits of holding stock is a business will have stock when a customer needs it. That's the idea. Any damaged goods can be quickly replaced, and also having large stocks means that a business can benefit from holding, discount if they bulk buy. The benefits of holding little stock is you don't need the space to store it, which works out cheaper. You're less likely to have stock that's damaged or stolen, and you've got employees that don't need to spend their time managing the stock. They can actually go out and do more effective stuff. Okay, so now let's look at productivity. The productivity is where you get the total output, i.e. number of products sold, divided by the number of workers it took to make the products. In this case, we've got 25 cars were made by 5 workers. That works out at 5 cars per worker. And the idea behind productivity is to try and make customers, not customers, make staff as productive as possible. So in that case, you're going to want to give them the best equipment. You want to train them up so they are efficient and they know what they're doing. You want to make sure that they're motivated, so they actually want to produce more and they take pride in their work. And the idea is behind increased productivity is the idea that it's going to be cheaper to produce products, which means that it makes a business far more competitive, because if it's cheaper for them to produce, they can have a selling price that's far more competitive, so they can possibly undercut their rivals, which means they are likely to attract more customers and therefore enjoy benefited increased sales and profits. Okay, now customer service. We have done customer service over a variety of lessons where it's been built into the topics that we've been doing at that time. Customer service is, to be honest, it's common sense. If you meet the needs of customers and you spot problems and if they have got any complaints, you listen to those complaints, you're far more likely to have customers coming back. I suggest you pause the screen and have a look at the benefits and drawbacks of customer service and how to give good customer service. Now we're going to look at the protection laws. So we've recently looked at the Sale of Goods Act, which means that a business must make sure that its products are of good quality, that they match their description, and that they are fit for purpose. In other words, that they work properly. The other law is the Trade Descriptions Act. That relates to how a business will describe its products. A business must not give out false information or fail to give important information or act aggressively, i.e. pressurise sales, where customers wouldn't have bought the products had they not been under such pressure. The drawbacks of consumer protection, well, a business has got to keep up with the law. So it does take time and money to make sure that staff are fully aware of the law. And obviously, if there are laws in place, then a business won't be able to just produce products as they see fit. They have to comply with the law. So that does mean it might be more expensive. But having said that, if they do comply with the law, they're less likely to be sued. They're less likely to be fined. They will have a better brand image. They'll have better relationships with their stakeholders, and customers are more likely to come back because they trust the business acts within the law. The final topic is on communication, and that's how a business communicates with its employees and also with its customers. We will be doing a lesson or part of a lesson on this just before your exam. Most of it is common sense. If a business communicates effectively and is open and honest and understands the needs of its customers and of its staff, it is more likely to operate in an efficient way. Sometimes there are what we call barriers to effective communication. Now, a barrier might be, for example, something that stops a message getting across effectively to staff or to customers. So, for example, using the wrong way to communicate. So, perhaps putting a note on Facebook instead of using an email. Not everyone has access to Facebook. Some members of staff are more likely to read their emails, for example. Or making sure that the emotions and the health and well-being of staff is in a way that allows them to effectively communicate. If staff are angry, frustrated or tired, they are far more likely to communicate in an ineffective way. Also, making sure that staff aren't using jargon. So, for example, we call detentions at Loose Studio, we call them bronzes. Now, if I was to talk to my family about how many bronzes I issued today, my family would probably think, well, that's a good thing. She's issued 3 medals, because I've used jargon that they don't understand. And it's the same if with customers you're using jargon that they don't understand. It's not effective communication, and they may very well not come back. If you use ineffective jargon with members of staff, they might misunderstand what you're saying. They might go and do a piece of work that is totally the opposite to what you intended. So, as I've said earlier, please go and look at the videos. Please make sure use of all the other resources I've got on Google Drive as well, because this video is obviously a very, very brief reminder of the topics that are in 3.2. Okay, as always, if you've got to the end of this video, very well done, and you can email me if you do have any problems. Thank you.